You know, in the world of real estate, if you're standing still, you are actually falling behind. It is a constant battle for market share, and to win, brokerages have to make some serious strategic moves. So today, we're going to crack open their playbook. So, how do they actually pull it off? What's the secret sauce? Well, it turns out there's a pretty well-defined playbook, and we're about to break down the key plays these firms are running to expand their empires, gobble up market share, and get a major edge on the competition. All right, let's jump right into play number 1, joining forces. This is a classic, all about growing by teaming up. But as you're about to see, this can look like a full-on takeover or a much more flexible kind of alliance. So this play really comes in 2 main flavors. On one hand, you've got the acquisition, where a bigger company just straight up buys and absorbs a smaller one. On the other hand, you have the strategic partnership, which is more like a powerful alliance. Think of it like this. It's the difference between buying the team outright versus just borrowing their jersey in their stadium for a while. Let's look at 2 companies that went down these different roads. First up, the acquisition. So when Fathom Realty brought EXIT Homestead Realty into the fold, it was way more than just adding 50-plus agents to their roster. As the former leader, Stephanie Verderose, puts it, there was a clear vision. They wanted to plug directly into Fathom's powerful tech platform and support systems. For them, getting acquired meant getting access to a whole new toolkit to supercharge their agents' growth and productivity. Okay, now let's flip the coin and look at the partnership angle. See, Lance Vermeulen's Brokerage wasn't bought out. It joined the William Raveis network. For them, the jackpot wasn't about getting new internal software. The big win was getting instant access to this massive global network, plus all the integrated services like mortgage and insurance, all while keeping the local expertise that made them valuable in the first place. So what's the big takeaway here? It all comes down to leverage, right? You can either buy another company's power and make it your own, or you can borrow a big brand's power to instantly level up your own game and your resources. Now, for our second strategy, instead of trying to be a jack of all trades, some brokerages are going deep. They're trying to become the absolute master of one specific corner of the market. They are literally carving out their own niche. And a perfect example of this is what eXp Realty is doing. They looked at the market and saw this incredibly complex, but also super lucrative area, new construction. So what did they do? They went all in and built an entire division just for that. The whole goal of eXp New Homes is to arm their agents to become the absolute go-to experts for home builders and developers. And look, this isn't just some idea they talked about in a meeting. It is a concrete, full-blown program. First, agents get certified with specialized training on literally everything from reading blueprints to negotiating with builders. Then, they get access to a custom set of marketing tools and reporting systems that builders actually care about. And finally, and this is the big one, they get plugged into this exclusive network of developers. It's basically a complete toolkit for dominating one very specific field. This quote from their CEO, Leo Pareja, really hits the nail on the head. It shows you the big picture thinking here. This whole niche strategy isn't just about selling a few more new homes today. It's about playing the long game. It's about positioning the company for the future by deeply understanding how entire communities get built. Which brings us to our third and final play, expanding the map. Now this one is maybe the most classic growth strategy of all time. If you want more business, well, you go where the business is. It's all about planting your flag in a new territory, whether that's across town or across the ocean. And what's really interesting is we're seeing this play out on 2 totally different scales. On one side, you've got domestic expansion, with companies like the agency making these very precise moves into key regional markets. And on the other side, you've got global expansion, where a powerhouse like Christie's sets up shop in the world's biggest capitals. So let's start with the agency. This new office they opened in Stark County, that's their 3rd office in Ohio alone. This is not a random move. It is a very deliberate strategy to build a deep, interconnected web across the Midwest, one key market at a time. So you have to ask, why Stark County? Well, according to their CEO, it's a very calculated decision. It's got this perfect storm of affordability, a lot of career opportunities, and a real community-driven vibe. In other words, the market just fits perfectly with their plan for growth. Okay, now let's zoom out from a regional map to the entire globe. For a brand like Christie's, their playground isn't just one country, it's the whole world. So they're planting their next flag in Tokyo, one of the major international hubs for high net worth clients. And right now, Tokyo is just one of the hottest luxury markets on the entire planet. So let's recap.
We've just walked through 3 huge strategies from the real estate growth playbook: joining forces, carving a niche, and expanding the map. Let's pull it all together now and see how these different plays stack up.
You know, when you lay it all out like this, you can really see the different philosophies at work. Fathom went for acquisition to get that rapid growth and tech integration. William Raveis chose partnership for that network access without the huge price tag. EXP is trying to dominate a niche to make themselves indispensable. And then you have the agency and Christie's expanding the map, just on different scales, regional versus global. And that really is the key takeaway. There is no single right answer. It's all about picking the play that fits your brand and your vision for the future. And all of this leaves us with one final, really important question. These are the plays that are winning the game today in a market that is constantly changing. But as technology keeps evolving and what clients want keeps shifting, what new strategies are going to pop up? What exactly will be the winning play of tomorrow?